what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match TV. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Yeah, buddy, that's right. Get exposure right now. Holler at the homie Paul Match, man, for Paul Match TV. Hit up Paul Match TV across all social media sites, alright? Who we got next? Got next. Got next. Got next. Got next.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time once again. We're glad that you could join us again today. As usual, we got another great interview coming up for you in just a moment. But first, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell here, and you're always going to get the latest interviews whenever they become available. And feel free to make a comment on our YouTube listing, and also check out the same listings because we're going to have links to our caps and t-shirts. So I know you want to take advantage of that. And feel free to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PaulMashTV. Feel free to like the page and inbox us, comment on everything you see. We'd love to hear from you there. And if you'd like to email us, that's paulmashtv, all one word, @gmail.com. And you can use that not just if you're a band or a solo artist want to be on the show, but if you're a fan, you're welcome to use that as well. And we'd love to hear from you. And we also have an official web address as well. And all that will be recapped at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. We have Too Slick from Savannah, Georgia, coming up in just a moment. Very talented artist, and I think you'll agree. So we'll get to that in just a second, but here's a quick word from ClickJam. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, and here we are with the interview time, and with us from Savannah, Georgia, we have Too Slick. Thanks for joining us, Too Slick.
What's up, man? Thank you for having me, Mr. Mash, sir.
Yeah, no problem. We're glad to have you today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the beginning of Too Slick on how you decided you wanted to be an artist? I mean, everyone has their own story, so let's hear your story.
Well, you know, I was an only child, and I was in trouble a lot. So I wrote a lot. And I started off with poetry, and it wasn't until I was about in 7th or 6th grade that I got introduced to Tupac, and I started a neighbor of mine, a good friend I was growing up with. He taught me about music and all that, and so I was already writing at the time, doing poetry, and it just when I first heard Tupac, it kind of clicked. So I started writing about I'd say about 12, 11 years old, and then just started going from there.
Okay, well, that's a good story, and I'm glad you're loving what you're doing, and we hope that you'll continue to do this for a long time.
Yeah, it started, and it's more of I'm very open about me having depression, and it's always been a crutch that I've had to use to battle through a lot of the tougher parts of my life. So God gave me an outlet. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, I know you mentioned Tupac, but are there any other influences in your life that helped you in your songwriting?
A lot of people are always going to assume, and I tell people this on all the interviews when they ask me, they always tell me, they assume it's got to be Eminem, right? And as great as Eminem wasn't really my influence. He just helped pave the way for me to do what I do. Mm-hmm. So when I look at like influences, I look at who I try to mimic my style after, and I don't really try to mimic Eminem in any way outside of lyricism. So if I had to say who was like an influence, it would probably be more like a DMX, a Mystical, a Tech Nine, 3-6 Mafia was real big where I was at growing up. Back then, you didn't have the internet the way you had it now. So we had to listen to 3-6 Mafia on CDs and buy the CDs at the record store, stuff that the kids would never know of today. So I would say if I had an influence, my biggest influences were more artists like that were energetic, that you could feel the energy in their music, that you got really loud to, and Tupac, obviously. But as far as the influences go, that's how I try to mimic my music, is after people that are very energetic in their music.
Okay. Well, those are pretty good artists, especially DMX, as you mentioned. He was a
You
pretty
know, I love the funny story. Jay-Z just paid all the money that DMX owed to a Def Jam, so I thought that was a real classy move on Jay-Z's part, because DMX was I mean, him and the Rough Riders at the time, they were the label you wanted to be a part of, man. Death Row and all them were nice, but everybody wanted to be a Rough Rider. Everybody wanted to be a Rough Rider.
Oh, I hear you, man. Well, how can people find your music? I mean, I'm sure it's all streaming, and you probably don't have any physical copies, and if not, that's fine. But where can you find your music?
Well, actually, we just now started production back on physical copies. I know people don't think physical copies are really the way to go anymore, but people love owning them. So if there's any people out there that are listening, please know that physical copies are still there. You don't need to really sell them. And maybe, but when you give your phone out to somebody, unless you go to their phone and subscribe, they still may never subscribe to you, and they may never even listen to the music that you play. So it's always good to have some physical form of music, especially when you're out places promoting your music. I tell you, when I started my music, the first thing I did was I made 200 CDs on my computer, one by one. I didn't go to a mass production. I didn't do anything. And they were Walmart bought. And I just burned my same CD over and over and over. And and it was funny because somebody the other day, now that was years ago. That was probably about 5 years ago. Somebody the other day found my CD in their CD player at work. That was 5 years ago. So that tells you people don't even use music anymore, but she still had that CD and she listened to it at her job. So people, while they don't need to stream it, they still like having it. So to all the upcoming artists and everything, CDs are not dead. If you can find them and know how to burn them and all that, I suggest you do it. But most of my music now you can find on YouTube at 2SLIK. I'm on the real 2SLIK on Instagram. And basically, if you put 2SLIK in Google, I'm your boy. I'm the one that pops up. So I'm real easy to find. The spelling is the trick. 2SLIK. No C involved. So.
Okay, so are you on any streaming platform at all, though, like iTunes?
Yes, yeah, I'm actually on everywhere you can find music. I'm on Napster, I'm on Deezer, I'm on Tidal, I'm on iTunes, I'm on iHeart. I'm anywhere you stream music, you can find me. I actually had my Don't Bury Me just broke 50 or 60,000 streams this week on Spotify. So that was a pretty cool deal. It looks like it's going to stay on pace. My other songs are rising up there. So broke 60,000 streams on Spotify and climbing every day. They do about 3,000. It does about 3,000 streams a day. So it's steady booming. So anywhere you find music, YouTube, Apple, iTunes, I'm there.
Okay, well, that's good. We'll go out there and buy Two Slicks, music. I'm sure he'd appreciate that. And speaking of music, in just a moment, we're going to be, playing your music video. Can you tell us the name of it and what it's about, or if there's a story behind it, so forth?
I forget which one was it. I think it was "Are You Gonna Love Me," right? That's the most recent one.
I think that was the one.
I think that was the one. I get them confused because I send them all. I send 3 videos at all different places. This is "Are You Gonna Love Me." It was written during COVID. It was written during COVID. We shot it during COVID, which is it was a really weird feeling because you're scared. You don't know. This was before they even opened up the government. We shot this video, so we were still nervous on, everything. But luckily, everybody was healthy. Nobody got the COVID from the video. It was a fun video to shoot, but it's about just people loving you when they need you and not really caring about you afterwards. And it was a song I recently had a heartbreak with a female, and this kind of, this was how I resolved and got out of that dark hole was writing this song, and I felt it really hit home in a lot of ways. And from what I hear, a lot of people felt the same way. So I get people all the time saying, because they say my music helps save their life, or when they're depressed and dark, my music is what they can go to, and I'm very grateful to help people. So I hope this song maybe reaches out to somebody to let you know, love yourself, and everybody else can just go sit on the sideline.
Okay, well, that's a good story behind that. We'll watch that in just a moment. But before we get into that video, I just want to tell you, I think we're about out of time, Too Slick, and we thank you for joining us. And we'd love to have you back sometime if you ever want to have anything to plug.
Hey, this is my first virtual interview. It was an honor to be on. Thank you so much to all the viewers and everybody. Thank you for listening. Be safe in these times. God bless. Love thy neighbor, and put Jesus first always, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, here's Too Slick right here on Paul Mash TV, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Dancing on the beat.
Drops are getting in my shoes, and the laces alone can't take away my blues. Are you only passing through, or are you gonna love me? Drops are getting in my shoes, and the laces alone can't take away my blues. Are you only passing through, or are you gonna love me?
Give me a shot to spit my thoughts about how all these haters try to take my spot and break my rot. They playing a plot, take what I got now. All they do is scheme, all I do is dream. Most pain I've seen, never will sing as it came from my own team, yo. Do you see my struggle? Are you getting a glimpse? Most people want me in their life so they can charge me rent. I swear to God, I think I'm losing it. My life is some confusion. Shit, my kindness is a weakness, and these bitches straight abusing it. And the higher I get and the more I drift, that's about time that my homies flipping. God forbid that my money slip, cause that's the time that my bitch will dip. It's like a revolving door, can't even tell who's real no more. So many people come and go, I don't even bother keeping score. And my life's so up and down that I feel like I might drown. With my hands to the sky, bend my knees into the ground. I pray to God he give me relief, cause every day it's harder to breathe. So it's on this blunt I cheap. I pray to God he give me peace. He come on.
Getting in my shoes, and the laces alone can't take away my blues. Are you only passing through, or are you gonna love me? Drops are getting in my shoes, and the laces alone can't take away my blues. Are you only passing through, or are you gonna love me?
Pain in my voice is not by choice, the sound of my life. How it feels not no real, and everybody's got a knife, and they wanna stick me in my back and pray that my line will go flat. People say that I'm paranoid, I swear that there's a cause.